Hey everyone, welcome to dubventures and welcome to another video. This is our Volkswagen Crafter campervan. Now we've had our campervan for 3 years now. What I'm going to do in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 years of ownership and talk about like the conversion of the campervan, talk about any issues that we've ever had with the campervan, and also talk about the fact that we used to have a campervan before this and do we regret getting something like this over a smaller campervan. 7 years ago, we got ourselves a Volkswagen Transporter T5. Now, when we got that, we converted it into a campervan. It was a basic setup. We just had a rock and roll bed in it. We had electrics in it. We had a diesel heater in it. And we kept that campervan for 4 years. And you know what? The journeys and memories that we made with that, it was amazing. After 4 years, what we wanted to do, we wanted to go bigger and better because we knew that it was going to expand our sort of like travel boundaries, if you like. And we knew that we wanted to go to Europe and everything. And we found that it would have been a lot better to get a bigger van. So that's why we got this Volkswagen Crafter. Now we got our Volkswagen Crafter from a Volkswagen main dealer, and after a lot of like looking at different like options and things, you know, we did decide to get a brand new one. Now when we got this, you got to bear in mind that like we knew that it was going to turn it into a campervan. But at that time, there was no conversions. You couldn't just like go to a campervan conversion company and say to them, oh yeah, I've got one of these, you know, we convert it into a campervan. At that time, there was no conversion company that you could go to and just say to them, yeah, you know, I want like a conversion done on this. So it's something that we had to design and actually get it bespoke made. Now, because we had our Transporter for 4 years, we knew that like, you know, if we got a bigger campervan, we knew exactly what layout that we wanted. So we designed it because one of the main things that we wanted was we wanted a fixed bed, and that was the main thing, because one of the things with having like a T5 or a T6 or something, you know, when you park up somewhere, a lot of the designs are made so that like when you get there, you've got to like make your bed up, and you know, if you've got like a rib bed and things, you've got to like get it all ready. But we just wanted to do it where it'd be nice when you get somewhere, you can just get in bed. So we got the fixed bed made, and then we got that fitted. And then it took us 3 years, so that's like up until now, before we've got like pretty much most of the design done how we want to do it. Now, as you all know, a campervan conversion, it's never finished. There's always something that you want to add and other things that you want to do. But what we did is we knew that we wanted a sitting area in the campervan, we wanted our cooking area, and then a storage area. So we got our van designed, and like I said, it took us 3 years to get to the stage where we've got it at the moment. Like I said before, campervan conversion, it's never finished, and there is like some other things that we do want to get done. Now, one of the most important things that we wanted to get done when we got our conversion done was getting like all-terrain tyres and wheels, because we knew that we was going to be doing a lot of travel off the beaten path. Now, there has been a lot of campervan trips that we've been on that having these tyres and wheels, they have come in like exactly like what we needed them for. We've drove in the snow and not had any issues. We've been off the beaten path a lot, and you know what? These tyres, they perform exactly how we wanted them. Now, what I'm also going to do in this video, I'm going to answer some questions that we've been asked over the years, because, you know, for example, we get asked like, you know, having these wheels and tyres, do they make any difference to the miles per gallon and like the ride quality and things? Now, I'm not saying it does, but what I can say is like we have never noticed any difference whatsoever when it comes to the miles per gallon. Now, we have done a lot of travel in this campervan since we've had it. Even when it wasn't converted, we just put a mattress in the back of the campervan, and you know, we just went camping because we were so excited to obviously like use it. Now, we've been all around Scotland, we've done lots of places in Wales, England, and do you know what? I have to say that it's such a comfortable like van to travel in. And as far as like a comparison goes, it's like comparing it to the T5 that we had. Do we have any regrets getting this campervan over that one? Absolutely not. This campervan for us, it works ideal, and like I said, we've done 2 full European road trips, and we was over there for like 3 months each time that we went, and you know what, we had no issues whatsoever. Now, that brings me on to reliability. So let's talk about reliability. So we've had the campervan for 3 years, and with us, what we do personally, it's like, it's a no-brainer for us. We get our campervan service at Volkswagen Oldham main dealer. Now, we chose the main dealer for like a lot of different reasons, and a lot of people, they say that like all main dealers are there to like rip you off, you know, the prices that they cost so much and everything. And it's like, do you know what? Since I've had my vehicle serviced at Volkswagen Oldham, what I've learned is the specialist equipment that they use to sort of like, you know, do like diagnostics and things on here costs a lot of money, and your standard garage, they don't have the technology to be able to diagnose like certain things on this. Now, I found this out a couple of times over the 3 years of owning our van, because a couple of times we've had issues where an engine management light came on once, and it turned out that it was a sensor, and we got that covered. That was done on warranty. And one of the other things that happened whilst we've had this van is we had what's called an engine overfill warning light come on once in our van. Now, I didn't know what it was because we just had the van serviced, and anyway, getting to the point, because we did a video about it, we went to Volkswagen Oldham, and it turned out that it done a DPF regeneration, and it I don't know the technical terms of it, but like it was like a DPF regen issue where like it put some like diesel in with the oil or something, and basically it just needed a little bit of oil taking out. But what we did is we thought that it might need a software update, and you know, the diagnostic equipment that they've got, that actually told us that it didn't need a software update. It was actually the fact that there was a little bit too much like oil mixed with the diesel that had gone into there. Now that's sort of like a basic story. There's probably a lot more technical way of saying it, but that's something that we had to get done. Now, another thing that we've had done since we've had the van is we've had quite a few software updates that have been available, and again, your standard garages won't have the equipment to be able to do things on the van. But the thing is, with servicing costs, a lot of people think that, you know, you go and you get your service done and things, you know, and you've got to like hand like, you know, your money over and things. You don't have to do that. You could save so much money if you got an all-in service plan with Volkswagen. The all-in service plan, it gives you an extra 2 years warranty, you get 2 services, 2 MOTs, and you also get 2 years full breakdown recovery as well. You do save a lot of money doing that. I'll put a link in the description for that. So one thing that we do before we go on any like long journey or anything, we get our van serviced, and when it's been serviced, it might be that like 6 months later, you know, we might be going on like a long road trip or something. What we do then is we also go and get a health check done on our campervan. Now, quick story. We got a health check done on our campervan just before we went on holiday once, and we went to Scotland on a road trip, and when we went to Scotland, we was in the supermarket car park and getting some things, and when we was in there, there was a guy stood there, he had a Volkswagen Transporter campervan. Anyway, got talking to him and everything. It turned out he was waiting for recovery. Getting to the point, he had some like basic knowledge of like, you know, vehicle maintenance and things, and what he did is he sort of like gave a visual sort of like look at his van before we went on this road trip. And he said that before we went on the road trip, he noticed there was a bit of a squeaking coming from his, well, a squealing coming from his brakes, but he had a look and he thought, you know, it was all right and everything. Anyway, he said when he got to Scotland, he heard like a loud noise coming from the brakes, and like the brakes were juddering like really badly, and he had to pull over. Had a look and he still couldn't really see anything. Anyway, the recovery came out, and it turned out that his brake disc had actually broken on the inside, and because it must have had a crack in it or something, and it broke, and basically that meant that his campervan journey in Scotland, that was it, it was over. Now, stories like that, it just like shows to me that it's like, I'm so glad that we go to Volkswagen Oldham and we get our like vehicle like health check before we go on any main trips or anything, because yeah, you can have a look at your brakes visually and things, you know, by looking at them and things. But unless it's on a ramp and you can have a good inspection and everything, you're not going to see everything. So if you've got a camper van and you are going on sort of like any journeys, especially if you're going on long journeys and things, health check done by a Volkswagen main dealer, because you know what? It's peace of mind. So we spoke a little bit about warranty before. Now, one of the things that we get asked a lot is, you know, when we first got our van and obviously was converting into a camper van, does that affect anything with like, you know, warranty or anything? The simple answer to that is, if you're going to get anything done to your camper van, if it's a brand new vehicle, I would speak to the main dealer and like say to them, look, you know, you're thinking about doing these things, does it affect the warranty and things? Now, one thing that I do know that does affect the warranty is obviously if you do anything with the engine. A lot of people think that like if they get what's called a remap on their engine to give better fuel economy and things, it will void your warranty. So anything that we've ever had done to the van, I've always gone to the Volkswagen main dealer and I've always said to them, you know, I'm thinking about getting like certain things done on the van, and I've spoke about it with them and to find out, does that affect the warranty? Next week we start our winter travel, but before we do that, we need to go to Volkswagen. So we're here at Volkswagen Oldham, and as we've been saying before, 3 years of van life, and in the UK, if you get a vehicle that is like registered like 3 years ago, after 3 years, you have to have an MOT done. So an MOT check after you've had the vehicle for 3 years needs to be done every year, and it's basically it's a health check of the vehicle and check that everything, you know, as it should to keep it like road safe. So before we actually get on with the MOT, Asim is just doing a health check on our van, so we're just having a few sort of like top-ups and things, like all the fluids and checking the oil and so on. So I'm not going to film any of the MOT, so obviously I'm going to let Asim get on with it, who's doing the MOT, so hopefully everything's going to be okay, and I'll catch you when it's done. So So that's the MOT done, and I'm happy to say it's passed. And the fantastic thing is we had like a health check, you know, before we had the MOT done. Big thank you to Volkswagen Oldham, and thank you to Asim for doing the MOT and the health check. Like I said, it's a no-brainer. Have a look at the all-in service plan so that you don't have to just like fork out all that money, you know, to get like your services done, your breakdown recovery and MOTs and things. So right, it's home time. Home now. So what's next? We're going to Scotland. See you in the next one.